Welcome back to Beyond the Margins, inside the mind shaping modern finance, where we dive deep into the strategies that fuel real business growth. Today, we're honored to be joined by Dr. Gwennetta Wright, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and founder of Xpert Tax Services. We're talking all things tax prep, AI, and how to scale with smart systems. Dr. Wright, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for joining us. Can you give us a quick overview of Xpert Tax Service and your journey in founding it?
I started Xpert Tax Service 19 years ago. I've been in the tax industry for 21 years. I started on the journey of wanting to really educate people about taxes based off my experience with dealing with different tax professionals and going to the big chain establishments because it was more of a number thing, meaning you can go into a tax preparation company, you give them your information, and then you walk out and you don't even know what's going on with it. And so for me, I wanted to create a atmosphere where people didn't just come get numbers entered into a computer because that's why people can DIY, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to be a advocate and an educator for the tax preparation industry so that people really understood how taxes work, how they could save money in taxes, and how taxes really affect their business and their personal finances. 19 years ago, I was a young girl just getting started. Um, I was able to break chains and my family as far as being an entrepreneur. And I just love taxes. I love talking about, how it can help people in their lives.
That's wonderful. And you were recently featured in the PVM magazine, and I love what you said there in that interview. God blesses us so we can be a blessing. Money comes and goes, but impact stays. And that is so truly profound. Now, I understand that you are currently prepping a program to train tax pros on due diligence. And you have impacted thousands through your coaching and other passions like Reach for Your Dreams, Inc. What has been one of the most rewarding things you have done in your entrepreneurial career?
I think the philanthropy work, giving back to my community, I literally live by, if God blesses me, that I have to bless others. And I've done it through all of my businesses that I have had. One thing that we do with Reach for Your Dreams, but that we actually started with doing it with Xpert Tax Service, and we're actually in our 17th year of it. And that is where we bless families for Christmas. Well, we give away a thousand toys and feed 1,000 families for Christmas. And we do it in the two communities that I serve, which is Columbus, Georgia, and in the Atlanta area. And I think my biggest achievement to date for me has been to know that I've been able to serve over 25,000 families. For me, that's the most rewarding thing because I'm able to service other people in their times of need.
That is beautiful. I love it. All right. We're going to jump in and talk a little bit about taxes. And of course, we all know tax season is famously hectic. What strategies have you implemented at Xpert Tax to manage that intense workload efficiently?
Create systems in my business. And by creating systems, I'm able to provide great customer service to our clients and live by what my vision is for my company, which is to educate and serve. And so for me, it's about having a team in place to make sure that each client is getting the service that they need and give me the opportunity as the CEO and the owner to be able to educate myself so that I can serve the clients even better.
I like it. How do you train and scale your team then to handle varying client volumes without sacrificing quality?
So usually when you go into the beginning of the tax season, just like right now, I usually come up with a plan. We usually generally see around the same amount of clients every year. Of course, we might see some increase from year to year, but I start training my team in advance. We have meetings prior to the year coming in to discuss like some of the things that we had hiccups in so that we can be better. Also, we get feedback from our clients and talk to them to get their opinions in reference to, what type of service we're providing to them. And then I come in and as a team, we tweak those things so that we can service our clients better.
Awesome. So now do you connect with your clients one-on-one, or do you use some kind of program that allows you to reach out to them on a regular basis?
So because I have clients throughout the year, because we don't just do taxes seasonal, it can be me sending out a review for them to be able to give us a review so they can tell us what their opinion of the service was. It can be me just having casual conversation with the client and asking them different questions in reference to, the service, the changes they have, what they want to see better. And not only that, I also kind of a lot of times ask questions on my social media sites, platforms, so that I can get the feedback of what people actually want to see when it comes to, you know, tax preparation services.
And that feedback is so essential to get that so that you retain clients and can improve. Can you walk us through a typical client workflow at Xpert Tax from onboarding to filing and how you've optimized that over the years?
Definitely. So we service clients in two different ways. We have a storefront, so we have clients that actually come in that might see us face to face, or they possibly might drop off their information, and then we see clients nationwide via our virtual service. Both processes are similar, but tweaked a little different. So one, we have things in place that when clients contact us before they even are able to get their taxes prepared, we make sure we have a follow up procedures in place so that if they're looking to get their taxes done, then we can follow up with them if they don't go through. We always, when someone's calling, ask them would they like to schedule an appointment, would they like to submit their information so that we can make sure that we get the clients. Once a client decides that they want to work with our company, whether it's virtual or in office, we give them intake information for them to fill out. We get their tax documents. They give us their information. We do an interview with them to make sure they're qualifying for all the credits that they're allowed. Once they do that, we give them an estimate because we do still do estimates. A lot of companies don't, but I feel like, we got to earn the clients work. I mean, earn the client's business. So as long as it's not very complex on doing estimates. Once we do the estimate with the clients, we'll contact them again and we'll go over their numbers with them. We'll tell them why they getting a refund, and or if they owe, we tell them why they owe. Or if their refund is lower than usual, we'll go over with them what the possibilities of why it's a little different from this year to next. Once they decide they want to file with us, we submit it to the IRS. And then once it's accepted, we have a system in place that from the process that is accepted, they get a text when their money is ready to be deposited. They get a text. We follow up by making sure they have their tax return in place, and then we send out again for reviews and referrals. And then all year long, we communicate with our clients by sending them an email every single week the whole year so that they are abreast of what's going on with the tax laws.
It's a great system. I love it. Yeah. Every week. That is impressive.
Yes. Mhm, mhm.
Uh, what
Yes.
market trends are you seeing in the tax preparation industry that entrepreneurs should pay attention to?
AI, of course, right? So everything is shifting with AI. A lot of things are coming more easier for us when it comes to tax prep because we're able to implement different agents and bots to help us to be able to follow up with the clients, to service the clients even more. And of course, it's going to be a challenge and an opportunity and a threat in both ways when it comes to AI, because it's going to be easier for clients to also DIY, doing themselves as well because of AI. So, of course, AI is disrupting our industry and all the other industries, but also I see a lot of people who are in gig economy, because of course, because of the economy, a lot of people are having to do other things for extra income. So because of that, that's making taxes more complex for them, because it's kind of harder for them to DIY their taxes because they got that income that they're not used to
Mhm.
having.
Absolutely. It's a lot easier to do just a, a wage type tax return as opposed to once you get into business income, it is more complicated. And
Absolutely.
you've been doing tax prep for, you said, was it over 20 years? All right. How has consumer behavior changed over, I'd say, the last 5 in terms of how they choose and work with tax professionals?
Think it's more of clients want convenience, and they want preparers that are can save them on time, to make sure that they don't necessarily have to actually go into operations and take their time from their day, to be able to get their taxes prepared. So it's really about convenience. That's really what a lot of clients are looking for. It's also about pricing, right? Because a lot of people are trying to save every dime that they possibly can. So a lot of people are looking for competitive pricing. And I think also people are looking for, now more so than ever, tax pros that are educated, that are experiencing and know the tax law, so that they can not only do tax prep but give tax strategy and tax planning, so that they can save as much money as they can possible when it comes to their taxes and their tax liability.
Yes. And that adding of value by doing the advising and stuff is where you separate yourselves out from just, the person who's just flipping the tax returns through.
Yep.
um, are you seeing more competition then from the do-it-yourself tax apps? And how does Expert Tax differentiate in a tech-driven market?
So we try to stay abreast of what's going on in the market, period. So usually if something's going on or technology is changing, we try to figure out how we can implement that in our business as well, or find something that we can give as a better opportunity for the taxpayer versus the DIY, by again adding value. Because anything at this part, no matter what business you're in, you're going to have to be able to add some type of value to stand out in the market. When it comes to competition with the DIY, a lot of the companies, especially like Intuit, they're adding a lot of different things that they hadn't done in the past, to be able to give taxpayers other options as well, as far as like talking to tax pros, just like we service them. um and so because of that, we just have to stay abreast of, again, what's going on, and package. And I think that's the most important thing, having a package of things that the clients can benefit from versus just the tax pro.
Absolutely. And you had mentioned communicating regularly. How important are you finding that year-round engagement is versus just a seasonal engagement in sustaining business growth in your field?
It's everything, because if I teach tax pros, and that's one thing that I always tell them is like, we focus so much on trying to get new clients. We have to focus more so on retaining the clients that we already have. I'm a big advocate of marketing and putting my dollars into marketing, but I'm also a big advocate of putting my money back into the clients that I already service. So one thing the Xpert Tax Service has been doing for the last 5 years is like, we do a giveaway, a cash giveaway for our clients every week, all tax season, giving away up to $500 every single week to the clients that actually got their taxes prepared with us. Because so many people focus on, um again, getting new clientele. For us, I have to spend as much energy as I I spend trying to get new clients to show my current clients that I appreciate them just as much.
Hmm. All right. Let's talk tech for a bit. How has Expert Tax adopted AI or automation tools to streamline operations or improve that client service?
So for us, it's implementing the agents, right? Because the money is in the follow up. And one thing we lack as business owners is not having a good system to follow up with our clients, and again, being able to be accessible to them, or having something or somebody accessible to them. So what we have implemented with AI thus far for our company is just implement those different things that we can be able to service the clients even better by following up and having accessibility to someone as far as information for our company.
Now, do you think that AI will disrupt or enhance the role of tax professionals over the next
I think
decade?
it would do both.
Okay,
I definitely think it would do both. I'm an AI person. I study AI every single day. I use Chat GPT all day throughout the day. I am one that is trying to stay abreast of all the new changes, even though it's kind of hard because they got some coming out every single
great.
day. Because I feel like, and I've heard it many times through a lot of gurus in the industries, that if you are not learning AI and you're not getting used to it, that you will be left behind. The people that are not using it is going to be the people who cannot grow their business, or they might get put out of business. So for us, we're just trying to again stay abreast of all the different changes, making sure that we are utilizing it every single day. I have implemented to where my team, my admin assistant, she has to spend at least 10 hours a week taking trainings on AI so that she can better be able to service our clients. But not only that, she can utilize it to replace some of the work that she does so I can put her in other positions. So I think it's going to enhance a lot in our industry, but it's also gonna disrupt because it's gonna be so revolutionizing as far as people being able to do a lot of things even easier than they have in the past. But again, it's gonna be about staying above the curve and utilize it for your benefit to add additional services to your business, but also being able to I continue to say this, to package up different things. So I serve a small business owner, I can utilize AI to service my small business clients even more by offering them different services. So it's going to be about the individual, how it's going to affect you.
Whether you choose to jump on board and use it for your benefit and your clients. Absolutely.
Yes.
Um, what's one piece of technology you've integrated that's had a measurable impact on your firm's productivity or profitability?
I want to say my SMS system, the technology as far as the texting. Because I think some of my AI tools are gonna outdo that, but right now it's definitely been my SMS system, because the system that we utilize is a follow-up system, and it's again an informational system that it alerts our clients, one, when they come in, if they haven't completed their tax return and they have to come back, or they came in and get an estimate, the system automatically send them reminders to come back in to finish their return up. Yes, our SMS system is the thing I think that has helped us grow with leaps and bounds over the last couple of years, because again, it's a follow-up system, and again, it's riches in niches, but it's also money in the follow up. So the system helps us follow up with the clients. It helps us remind the clients to come back and get their taxes in. It tells the clients to send us referrals or ask for referrals. And it does that in a systematic way, which makes us stay on top of the client's mind always. And I think that has really helped us in our business.
Wonderful. For other tax professionals or service based entrepreneurs listening, where do you recommend they start when considering AI integration?
With ChatGPT or a AI tool that's similar like Gemini or Claude, but my recommendation is ChatGPT because ChatGPT has so many different channels of different things that you can do all in one. I would definitely start with that because you can utilize it for every part of your life. You can use it as a counselor, you can use it as a coach, you can implement systems in your business to help you better serve your client, be able to communicate with your client in a friendly way. And then the next thing I would do is I would start with finding different platforms that you can create content on because content is everything when you're trying to scale your business. So I would use it to actually create content as well.
All right. So for Expert Tax, what's working well for you now?
What's working well for us now? I think everything. I think putting
Everything.
out a lot of content. I think Expert Tax Service because we've been in the industry for a long period of time. Because as a CEO and owner, I stay current on all the different trends. Virtual services is working really, really well for us because it makes us be able to service way more people than we would be able to service locally. So I think if I would say what's working well for us, it would be the virtual service.
The service. How much have you seen that grow in the last, say, 5 years or so? Like, is it
S- I s- I don't know. I can't give you a percentage, but my
no
clientele has increased. I know at least 25% just based off of virtual.
amazing? And that's going to open up so many more opportunities
Right.
for you going forward. Which metrics are you most focused on improving now?
Customer service. I'm always focused on customer service because it's just a big pet peeve of mine. I think if I want to stand out in my industry, I always tell other tax pros, you want to stand out in your industry, get the clients good customer service. Making sure that we can deliver the returns in a more faster pace, making sure that we can get to the clients and get them completed in a more faster time. I think that's one of the most important things I'm focusing on. And then the other thing is just for me in my line of business, you mentioned it earlier as far as making sure other tax pros are compliant. So for me, it's making sure that my team, as we grow and we scale, that we stay IRS due diligence compliant because we don't want no fines.
No, absolutely not. What's one lesson you've learned about scaling a service based business that you'd wish you'd known earlier?
To include a product that I wouldn't just rely on having a service in my business because when you're a service provider, you if you want to scale, you're gonna only be able to scale with more bodies, more people, right? When you implement a another revenue stream to your business that don't necessarily have to have you in place, that's where your true level of scaling in your business come to place.
Mm. What have you found for product options that tie in with the tax prep that have worked for you?
Digital products.
Digital products. Okay.
Digital products. And I think every service-based business should have one. Because I can tell you I have been able to add multiple six figures to my revenue just by implementing digital products into my business. Now, mind you, I do service tax pros primarily outside of taxpayers, but as a service provider, I know that even if I was to implement it on the taxpayer side, I would still be able to do the same or duplicate the same thing because it's all about systems.
Right. Right. That's a significant increase to
Yeah.
business revenue, right? To
Yes.
complement the limitations you have with needing people to perform the other service-based side of it.
Yeah. And it was important for me because I had got to a place where In our industry, you have people come in and out. The turnaround rate is really high. And I did not want my business to be based on other people. And so I had to figure out something I could implement that if other people wasn't in place and I had to hire employees versus contractors, that I had something for the employees to do, but it wasn't nothing that I needed them to do to scale my revenue.
So, what's next for Xpert Tax? Any future projects or expansions?
So of course we're pushing more into me servicing the tax professional side as far as trying to educate tax professionals on how to be compliant and how to scale their tax businesses as well. But also as far as taxpayer wise, we're just trying to make sure that we can add I do individual tax returns and I've always did individual tax returns. So for me, it's implementing more corporate taxes in the business, and also tax planning. So again, when we're dealing with our high income earners, that we're able to not just prepare their taxes, but making sure that they have strategies that can save them money as well.
Right. Because you got to do the planning before you can't fix it after. If you could solve one major challenge today, what would it be?
Think it would be staff. I think just around the world, Um, w a lot of businesses are struggling with having team, and that's the one of the biggest challenges I see in our industry, even for my business, because again, with the team that I have, we can only do so many tax returns. And so if I can get more of a solid, reliable, dependable, and knowledgeable team, then I'll be able to scale my tax prep side even more.
Absolutely. All right. Have you considered outsourcing any of the services you provide?
Do some a little, like when it comes to like referring like people to corporation, do corporate returns, partnerships, and bookkeeping, of course. But to be honest with you, it's kind of hard to find dependable, trustworthy people. So
Mm,
I believe in outsourcing. I think that's important. That's a great way to scale your business. But you have to find the right fit that's gonna fit with your business and that's gonna align with your business goals and visions.
absolutely. And you have to be able to have the time to make sure that they're producing that same quality that you've built your business on.
That's
Yes.
so important. Yes.
Yes. So finally, where can our audience find you and learn more about your services or mentorship programs?
So definitely, it's three different ways that you can find me. You can find me on all social media outlets personally at Gwennetta Wright on literally all the social media platforms. You can follow my tax service Xpert Tax Services, spelled with the Xpert, on all social media platforms. And if you are a woman tax pro, you can go on Facebook and join my community, Women Taxpreneur United, where I help women tax pros scale and build profitable and compliant tax businesses.
That is awesome. As we wrap up, if you had one piece of advice to give to the next generation of entrepreneurs looking to build scalable tech forward service businesses, what would that be?
You can do anything that you want to do. You can do anything that you put your mind to. If you are getting into the realm of entrepreneurship, know that it's going to take a lot of hard work, consistency, and faith. And know that you will always have to be a student to so that you can stay abreast of everything that's going on, and that you need to always implement systems in everything you do. Don't wait until it's time to scale. Implement them from the start.
Gwenetta, thank you so much for sharing your story with us.
Thank you
And
for
I
having me.
appreciate, yeah, absolutely. I appreciate that you care so much and that you're using what you've been given to be a blessing to others. So
Thank
thank you
you.
for being on today. Thank you for sharing with us. And just keep on doing that because it's making a difference.
Thank you.